We're back with a new CogScore episode, and today's guest is someone I go way back with. And the car they've brought is, well, it's interesting. Is Top Gear going to come back?
Somebody had leaked that we were planning to go out on a Sunday night. And I was like, I know who the leak is.
Oh, brilliant, Top Gear's on. Oh, I'm on it.
You're on it. Needs to give it a boost and it needs to do something.
Let's be honest,
And then I
crash
think
again.
even worse than
And
that.
then I did. Do you think we ever will work together again? All of us. My guest is, well, it's Andy Wilman. Mr. Wilman, the editor, the man who helped define and shape an entire era of car culture. We've been through so much together, disasters, wins, losses, highs, lows, more than anybody else I know, I think. And then we get to the car bit. What has he brought? Well, like I said, it's interesting. Mate, where's your car? It's not on a ramp.
So...
I do know the answer to this, but I want you to
But you're
share.
going to make me say it,
Yeah,
aren't you?
right. Most people,
Okay.
the whole point of this exercise,
Yeah.
you can hear the workshops outside,
I
people
know.
arrive with their car.
If I could have brought it in for them to do something to it.
Yes,
However, for that to happen, I'd be
Yes.
able to have to drive it here.
yes.
And Sadiq Khan has said no for 6 months.
Right.
You're not doing any driving because I went through one of his 20-mile-an-hour speed cameras. And I did 24, Rebel, and then that was it, Magistrates Court, Lavender Hill, 6 months. Have you said that thing in the paper that in Islington, it's now 10 miles an hour?
No, doesn't
Yeah.
affect me.
10 miles an hour. So cyclists are now breaking the speed limit in Islington. They're not being done.
Some runners.
Runners will be, yes. Dogs. Dogs chasing
Pigeons.
cats. No. 10 miles an hour.
That's not going to work.
No, I know. That really is grumpy old man stuff.
When we were talking then, is a lot like when we used to work at the news. And this whole chat is going to hop about all over the shop.
It is.
Because, yeah. But when you...
But we've got editing. Oh, no, we haven't, because I'm not
No,
doing
you're
it.
not editing it. You do know that.
Yeah, I know.
You're not editing it. Just stop filling
Yeah,
the
but
tabs.
therefore now I can get my revenge. I can keep doing this.
Can I have an ice cream?
Which you used to do.
Yeah, we did.
20 years of that.
Yeah, we did. The best was if you
Oh,
would
can I
give
have a pint of bitter?
Can I have anything in a clear glass? But that was like coming into the office on Tuesday to work out. So this is back to Top Gear rather than Grand Tour to work out the news. Would that have made it as an item? 10 miles an hour in
Yes,
Islington?
it would. I mean, it's
What
like...
would we have done? Snap question. Where would that have gone? What would we have done with it?
I think we'd have been really subtle going on about people who eat hummus live in Islington. We'd have made it hard for people to get the jokes. Because we were never, well, actually, no, you three, obviously I'm behind the camera, but I think one of the secrets of our success was we were the funniest men in the pub, but not stand-up comedians.
No, that's very important, actually.
It was. It was like we pitched our level at, we maxed out with our talent at getting laughs, but it was like funniest men in the pub, and that was vital. We weren't Michael McIntyre doing a performance.
But those Tuesdays, and just to put that into context, we will talk about your book in a minute, because you've written a book.
I've literally got the train here to do that, not to see you.
And I have read it. The whole thing.
You didn't do the audio book?
No, I read it.
Wow. Okay.
Those just were coming.
You could have been in bed with me, right, in your ears.
Yeah, it's just really bad.
Just trying to get off.
Again, it's getting worse. On a Tuesday, so on a Monday, we'll just go through this and then we'll talk about it. But I do want to talk about it because I've got a bit of a beef.
Oh, don't do that. Go on.
So in the Top Gear days, we recorded the show on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we made all the films. They were all done, and you edited them and disappeared into a dark room and ate pizza and drank beer, and that's it. And then we got on to recording the shows. And on a Wednesday, we'd record them in the studio. So on the Tuesday, we would write the show.
We'd write the script for the studio, wouldn't we? And the news stories.
Yes.
I think we need, given that it was, news is a bit of a big word.
Yeah.
The bit where
We sat down
they sat in the middle of the room and going, oh, there's a new golf out.
But that had to be written because we had to decide what we were talking about, and otherwise we'd be there for 2 hours.
Yeah, and it got more and more strict on that because I think you always were the best riffer you could fly if you went golf out. Jeremy was like, a writer by trade, and he wanted his hit points, didn't he? He was like, he wanted to work out what he was going to say.
There was a lot of science in it. It was very carefully constructed. I dreaded those Tuesdays because...
Why?
Because it was like show and tell. My first jobs in radio, 88, in the newsroom. You used to have the newsroom meetings in the morning.
Yeah.
And people would have to arrive with stories, and they'd literally go around the room, and I'd be like, oh no, all I've got is a hangover. I have nothing else. And then you'd have to give your story to see if that was...
So nothing changed then in the years that you were with us?
No, nothing at all. And then just before we get onto your book, what you've written...
Oh yeah, I've written a book.
Yeah. On the Monday, I can have this out with you now. Right. How many years did we do Top Gear?
2002. We went on air. 2015, we were taken off air.
Yeah.
So 13.
13 years.
Yes.
I lived on the other end of the M4, out here, where you've just come.
Not my fault.
And the office was in London.
I've done this journey once, and I would move to London. So why you didn't over 13 years?
So then we would record the voiceovers.
Yes.
So we've made the films that go into the show, and then did little bits of voiceover dropping in.
Monday we did that, Monday evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's a 3-hour drive to bustle into a studio, to sit down and say, right, you ready, Rich? Yeah, I've got my earphones on, I'm on my microphone. Yeah. Meanwhile, and that was it. And that was it.
Then Jeremy had an idea.
Yeah. And I did that for 13 years. And I even went to the lengths of buying and setting up a recording booth at home, a studio.
It didn't work though.
You never tried it. It could connect. This thing could connect.
We did once.
Digitally, so that he could be sitting like in that room. And it's as though I was sitting in the voiceover booth next to him. He had frame by frame pictures that he could tell me, now, Hamo, can you do it a bit more like this? Can you put a bit more regret? Can you sound a bit more like you're thinking about cheese when you say meanwhile?
Pathos.
And I could have done that from home. How many how many shows did we make?
Oh my God.
You should...
We did...
If there was a pub quiz, and this could come up, how many episodes of Top Gear?
I don't know. We did 22 series. I know that because we got booted out at series 22.
Times an average of...
10.
So that's 220. So I would have had...
Glad you got your phone out for that one.
At least 220...
Oh, we had a break because somebody crashed in 2006. We had a bit of a break then.
Yeah, you were really crossing me about that. It's not like it helped the show. I was the biggest advert we could have had.
It's true.
And it was...
You were dedicated.
We'll come on to that, because when we talk through your book, because I also remember a conversation straight up for Grand Tour when we'd started and we were having another meeting, so there'd have been you, Jeremy, James, me, Porter, the usual. Al.
Grand Tour, yeah.
And we were saying, right, we need to give it a boost. Somebody needs to do something. God's own truth. That was said. Somebody needs to, let's be honest,
and then I
crash
think
again.
even worse than
and
that.
then I did.
And then even worse than that, on screen they would accuse you of like capitalising on any incident.
Yes.
So off screen we're going, we need to give it a boost, somebody needs to do something. On screen, whenever you're climbing into a fast car, they're going, he'll be on the phone to his publisher.
So I did subsequently bin it in Switzerland. Anyway, that's like towards the end of it. And I do want to talk to you about how we landed it, and I think you and I should discuss.
Yeah.
Because it was really carefully thought out. And I think we were all really proud of how we finally landed that.
Too. I think.
But the takeoff begins way back, and your book, you've got it with you, but it's on the table.
Oh, there it is.
I have got a copy, but mine's really battered because it's so well thumbed.
Is it?
I genuinely did read it in...
This has got a bit of a scuff. You read it in...
2 sittings. I read it on an aeroplane. And here's the thing.
That's before somebody nicks it.
This is quite... So. That's Andy Wilman's new book that he's written.
Yeah.
That's me, and that's Jeremy.
Because people were fighting on the train to
and
get it
that's
off me.
James. And what's interesting is that arm, I'm guessing, represents you, which kind of tells us all we need to know.
Well, I think that's quite smart of Penguin, because they were like, nobody knows who you are, so you ain't going to sell a book.
Your face would sell all.
All, exactly. It would sell wanted posters for Police 5.
And while we're just collecting books, just put that there for a minute. You can leapfrog it if you want.
Is it? Well, no, this book is 22 years of stories.
Well, it's
this book is one afternoon in Sheffield, and you can't even remember the best bit.
No, not really.
So, like,
So, look, I want to just, your
As a
book, I
Christmas-
do want to talk about your book. It starts, and just so you know the scan of it, it starts before even you met Jeremy. It actually does start with you, and it's actually quite well writ. And it tells a story of you with your wonky legs, and then we meet Jeremy, and it really gives a sense of how that friendship was founded.
Yeah,
Because we get a real picture of you, and you sound quite lonely.
a couple of people have said that.
I mean, rightly so, you should be.
There must be a couple of people in the country who've not read the book, so I probably better
There could be. Might be you.
put this to sort of clarify what we're talking about. So I'm 5 and I spend a year in hospital, strapped to a bed because I've got this leg and muscle and nerve complication. And the ward is full of kids with different but illnesses that all require the same treatment. We're all strapped to these beds, and you could like sit up a bit like that, and that's it. What was fascinating was that if you leave 5-year-olds alone like that, they try and replicate automatically what a group of 5-year-olds would be like on the outside, but all you've lost is movement. Yeah, I didn't do a lot of autobiography, but I think you would see that what all 4 of us brought to that show, and that was the lightning in a bottle bit, that we all thought the same way. You know, TV brought us together, but we all thought the same way. Same humour, same approach to life, same tone. That's where I got mine from, was those
It totally
incidents.
rang true reading about that.
Yeah,
There
and I
were
thought
quite a
I'd write
few,
about that.
moments when I thought, oh, that's where Wilman
I
comes from.
remember it was like, you know, the way we got into trouble as a show, that would be in the papers for this and that and the other. And the papers would go sparks, fury, outrage. The viewers, except for the times when we got it wrong, were like, that's all right, they're just larking about. And the viewers knew that we were getting into trouble with a bit of charm.
Some of that also stems back to those days literally strapped to a hospital bed at the age of 5, because there's only so much trouble you can get into, so you will get into that trouble.
And also attitude to authority, because we kind of work things out in our little 5-year-old heads. We had this of a teacher. She was too to work in a school, and she would come round, and once a week you'd learn whatever, and she'd go around letters and numbers and stuff. And she was horrible, and I got something wrong or didn't say something, and she really slapped me across the face. I'm in bed. She slapped me across the face, and I sort of smirked. And the smirking was same as any nurse or anything like that. We knew what you're going to do. What privileges are you taking away? Go upstairs to your bedroom. No telly for you. No going out playing. You know, it's just that. We just knew it.
Let's just put this one in. I remember you saying we were somewhere or other, and it was
brought you a
kicking
present,
off.
mate.
What?
That's nothing. Something to wear around the workshop.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Oh, thanks.
That's for you.
That's lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's. I'll
Yeah.
just pop that on.
Yeah.
Great. Lovely.
Whenever the next series is on.
Yeah, it'll be on every app. Yep. I remember you
XXL.
saying, "I'm 42. I can't be in trouble." And we said, and it was something that I'm 42. I can't. The idea of
Being in trouble.
because I guess that's also rooted in the fact that I didn't actually do anything really wrong.
We didn't do anything really wrong, except for the times we did. But they were few and far between. And I think we all thought that same way. I remember we had that lunch with Danny Cohen when he was us about the slope joke.
It wasn't a lunch. He just called us up to his office.
But we had lunch, because I remember it was doom from the start when we had a salmon salad, never forget it, and he had hummus, and Jeremy went, why are you eating that? And we're supposed to be like being hauled over the coals. And he went on, the problem with that guy, he went on and on and on, and he didn't know when to stop with his telling off, because it's like we knew we'd done wrong. David Jordan, the lovely head of Ed Pol, had informed us how much we'd done. We knew it, we felt guilty, but he kept going. I remember you turned on him at lunch, like, all right, don't milk this, pal.
Well, it was also the worst kind of cultural appropriation, I thought. It's like, because he said, I was offended. How? You can't be offended. He did say, I was offended. And that's when I stood up. I said, how can you be offended? You can't be offended for somebody else.
Right.
It's not...
I can't remember. Now it's coming back to me, though, yes.
That was when we were hauled up to the DG's office.
Yes, that's
with
right.
the real...
Yeah, that was the same one. We had
That was
lunch in
only
that.
you and I were there for that.
Was it?
Yep. Just because I remember you were sitting
my
there
memory's worse than
and you
yours.
were looking actually anxious, and I just thought this battle-scarred old warhorse is being shouted at by this man who's claiming to be part of a bunch of people who could be insulted. And that was like, no, you're confusing the issue now.
That was a separate thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I need to rewrite the bloody book.
Yeah, it's all That's what I fully expect. So then...
Well, there'll be a reprint, that's for damn sure.
Can
so
we
I'll
move
get
on?
that in.
Because the problem with the earlier stages of this book, and I say I really enjoyed reading it, but I got to about...
That's about as far as you got.
No. I
Page
got
20.
Right, I got to... Yeah, you see, we're at page 55 here, and I'm
marked the bits I've got wrong.
still not in it.
Oh.
Yeah. There's obviously quite a lot of the beginning of this book, it's lacking...
Yeah, that's the
me.
thing with memoirs. When I
Yeah.
don't meet you till I'm 40.
If I wasn't in this whole that, I'm not in. And in fact, it's that much.
But what an entrance you make when you do arrive.
I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember my entrance
Because
in
you
here.
up your audition.
Oh, yes, I did. Up mode. I don't remember.
And
cocking
that's a good...
up.
When
Did
I've
I
been on
really
the
up?
tour, when I've been on my book tour,
Have you been on a book tour?
yeah.
Where have you been?
Big hitters, Chorleywood Library,
Yeah. How many turned up?
Ely Village Hall. I've been, there was 100 at Chorleywood Library, 150 at Ely sort of Village Hall or whatever. Then Stockport, 250. It was getting like AC/DC.
Yeah.
It was quite a thing. And then Ben Collins came to do the Q&A on that one.
Well, that's quite
And all he
cool
did
idea.
was
It's quite
talk about what I'd got wrong. And I'm like, we're sitting here now.
It's too late. It's in the book.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, he was like, no, he was talking about when we took him to court, you know, like when he wanted to be the... You got a cookery book, is that what's coming next?
let's just put it there.
I didn't even know you'd done this. What really happened to the lost city of Atlantis? You weren't there.
I answer it in
Is the
there.
Loch Ness Monster real?
Again,
No.
I answer it in there. It's a kid's book.
That's Brainiac Days. What a show that was.
Yeah, it was a good
Kids
show.
love
And
Brainiac.
on that, the fact that we had such a family audience.
It's really good, this one. Go on.
The standard answer to that is that I remember when we started, and obviously I knew Top Gear, obviously I'd always watched it, to the extent that when we did the first studio record, standing on the stage, Jeremy there, Jason there, and we'd rehearsed and worked it all out, but it was the first time I'd heard the theme, and they played the theme into the studio. And I thought, oh, brilliant, Top Gear's on. I'm on it.
You're on it.
Yeah, it was a really big moment. But...
That speaks to... Sorry, you go.
No. Speaks to what?
Well, why you came in with that black eye on a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like you didn't realise you was on the show.
Yeah, I forgot I had to do it.
Everybody
That is in the
must
book.
need to know about this. So, as Richard said earlier, we record the studio show on a Wednesday, and everyone comes in on a Tuesday to write the script for the show on a Wednesday, and he comes in Tuesday with a huge black eye, and we're like, where'd you get that from? And he's like, I had a fight in the pub. And we were like, what? And he was like, yeah, we were arguing about Subarus. So Heartland, you know.
Yeah, well, it's true.
It was on message.
We're authentic.
Yeah, having a fight about Subarus. And we're like, you're on national television. Do you not understand this concept?
No, I didn't. But I wanted to talk
You had to
about...
schedule your fights for when we're off air.
between series.
It was fantastic. I loved you for that.
But I just talking about the broad family audience. That
Yes.
I remember at that, so I knew Top Gear, and Top Gear always went out on a Thursday. In the old days.
Thursday
before
at
us.
8, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when it went out.
Yes.
And then we were told, we were already all together by then, when we were told at White City we're going out on a Sunday. And I remember
there
we were, what?
No,
Is that in here?
there's a little tail to
Is that in here? I can't remember.
No, it's not in, but there's a little bit
Sorry, wait a minute.
Okay.
It's not in the book.
No, it's not, so we can talk about it.
It's not in the book.
Then drive traffic to...
I mean, how much can you really rely on the book in that case? I'm just saying.
I can tell you the backstory to going
Do you
out
want
on
us to
Sunday.
cut that?
No.
Good, because I won't.
I say the backstory
I
to
thought they just said we're going on a Sunday, and we were like, what? Nothing, because nothing went out on a Sunday then.
Well, that was the thing. And I'll tell you who actually, the BBC didn't come up with that idea, because Sunday night is not a graveyard. They put big shows out, but it's the you're going to work on Monday slot, isn't it? Your weekend is over.
Yeah.
And we made a Friday night show for Sunday night. But we made a show where we're going, you've got one more hour of the weekend left and we'll send you off to bed happy, kids, and that kind of thing. But there's a guy called Kevin Ligo who now runs ITV, and he was at Channel 5. And there was a time when they tried to poach Jezza before we started to do this Top Gear. And he had plans for Friday night. He was like, it's a graveyard. I'm going to put some sexier stuff out on Friday night for Channel 5. So he actually had that idea first.
Well, for Friday or Sunday night?
For Sunday night, sorry, for Sunday. And then when, I remember this caused a bit of a hoo-ha because Fifth Gear were coming back and they announced that they were going out at 8 p.m. on a Sunday night while we were still trying to get our show together, and they would have gone out ahead of us. And there was this big hoo-ha in the BBC that somebody had leaked that we were planning to go out on a Sunday night. And I was like, I know who the leak is. It's me.
Was it?
Yes. I told Channel 5.
Why?
Because I knew they'd move. I had to gamble.
What, you had been like a big wheeler-dealer entrepreneur?
I had to gamble that they would move.
So you decided to be Billy Big Balls and tell them our big secret?
Because it was the only way, because if they
But we hadn't been on air.
If they didn't know that we were going out on Sunday night as well, we weren't on air yet, and they were ahead of us in terms of getting ready. If they didn't know, I knew they were going to announce 8 p.m. Sunday night. So I thought, I've got to let them know that we're doing the same.
So you're like a big strategic player?
That was chess playing. It was like Tom Clancy I was doing. So I told them, I said, we're going to go there. You might want to have a rethink, hoping that they could have said, off, we're here first.
We're having it.
But they thought, Jeremy, Top Gear, the name, yeah, we'll move.
This guy.
They didn't, actually. That didn't come into the conversation.
No.
But yes.
Was I held back as your... Like, if they hadn't moved, you could have said, we've got this guy Hammond joining.
I say we've got Hammond and Jason Dorr. And he won't be around, Jason, but we are... You know, you get one Exocet missile coming, and that's Jezza, then another one, the name, but the hypersonic missiles, I'm holding in reserve.
Just saying that.
Which one is that?
It's just another little tome I wrote. Yeah.
That's it. What are you going to do when you get to the one that we both wrote? Then you've got a problem, haven't you?
I haven't actually got a copy of it. I'm really sorry.
Got a copy of it. Oh.
So today was meant to be simple. Whilst Richard speaks to Andy about the glory days of Grand Tour and Top Gear, I was meant to do a cog score on his car. The only problem is, he hasn't bought a car. It's such a shame. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to service my own car. But thanks to Liquid Moly, we've got a full lineup of products to give it the full works. First up, engine flush. This cleans out any muck, sludge or mysterious substances you probably shouldn't have flowing around your engine. You simply pour it in, run it for 15 minutes, and it will drain out clean. The perfect base for fresh oil. And now for the good stuff, Liquid Moly's Special Tech F5W30. For proper lubrication, smoother running, and less shouting from the dashboard. Final step, Ceratec. If you've got a newer engine, it acts as a friction-reducing additive. And if you've got an older engine like mine, it acts as life support, keeping everything running smoother for longer. You can browse all the products used here today by clicking the link in the description. So while Richard and Andy argue about who caused the most chaos on Top Gear, one thing's for sure, this thing's running smoother for longer thanks to Liquid Moly.
Did we have any idea, and we're asked that, you're asked that, I don't doubt, all the time. Did you have any idea where it was going to go, blah, blah, blah?
I think that's the theme of that book.
Kind of that's what it talks about.
It's accidents all the way. And I think that was part of our survival, our longevity, was that we didn't know what we were doing, so we were always surprising ourselves. And I genuinely think two things there. The viewers, you know, like the way the viewers took to you three, like they owned you. You know, the sort of the mobbing you three got. And I think the viewers then latched on and they saw our growth, and you guys would all joke about grey hair or getting fatter and all that. And they're watching it while it's happening. Or we do a show and then we apologise the next week going, sorry about that show last week. What shows would do that? What shows would do that? Nobody was. It was like we're an organic living thing.
All right, things that could have gone wrong. So, early days, and these are things I think could have gone wrong. If we'd really tried to make it what it became, I don't think it would have become it, because all we wanted to do was make the best
But we didn't. We weren't bright enough to think of the things.
Okay.
We never thought of specials.
No, they just happened organically. That was Botswana.
We never thought... No, because the first special was America, and it was supposed to be a 25-minute film.
God, I don't know my Top Gear trivia.
Christ.
So things that could have changed it, if we'd tried, if we'd sought to be scientific, if we'd thought, right, if we do that, we introduce a bit of this kind of humour and we have that attitude, it'll suddenly be really liked in South Africa, Australia, Russia.
Yeah, or we'll broaden our audience to kids, etc., etc. And we didn't think of any of those things. And that's what I find absolutely fascinating, and the lightning in a bottle element of it. Okay, we can pat ourselves on the back because we sort of eventually did things, but we stumbled across things more than we planned. So, can a granny do a donut? All that kind of you driving, nuns in monster trucks.
Yeah.
We were amusing ourselves. We didn't sit down and go, right, this will bring in kids.
Here's a question only you can answer, and only really me, Jeremy or James can ask, which is, what was it like editing us? And I'm asking that question because it's important that it is recorded, and you obviously would never say it in here because that would be you're too in this book that you've written. Yeah, you wouldn't say it in that book. You wouldn't say it in this book either. But you wouldn't say it in any book.
Let me have a look. The thing is, I have to keep picking these up to look at them.
So you're reading it. That must have been read in years.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. Okay, yeah. So
you wouldn't say it in here, but the fact of the matter is, your role in shaping, like deals behind the scenes, you deciding to leak secret BBC information because you knew the opposing broadcaster would move.
Yeah.
You were quite bold about that sort of stuff, but also actually the editorial, the tonality above all else of the show. That's what you would never in here say. And then I discovered that if I were to caricature these guys in the edit, it would end up being something unbelievable and give me the ability to be a storyteller that few people have had the chance to be. You wouldn't put that in there because it's not self-deprecating enough, but you did. What was it like going through that process? When did you realise, I can be the puppeteer here?
I can be the puppeteer. I didn't plan to live in the edit, but you go in there and you just realise that unless I pull a chair up, the film won't get done. And you realise that, and I see it all the time, you've got editors in there and directors, and they're putting stuff together, but nobody has taught anybody about tone or which way to go. And I don't know it either. But I've spent more time than editors and directors at that point with you three. And we've been in the pub and laughed and with Porter and all that sort of stuff. We were bonded by work, but we're on each other's wavelength. So when I sit down and look at what's there, what's being used and what's not being used, I'm like, no, that's not them. I know better than that. So that's one element that I just kind of, I think I knew you enough in that way. But that doesn't explain how we take a path, which is the kind of the way our humour goes. And ours is always, I think, all right, this is really hard to say given that you fall in the rivers and catch fire and we build space shuttles. Our tone is drier than a lot.
Yeah,
so what do I mean by that? I watch something like A League of Their Own, and it's some guys cocking about, but they do a lot of belly laughing about what they do and get wrong. And we rarely would laugh.
Unless one of us hurt ourselves.
James falling over that plank in Bolivia.
Always funny.
That you die laughing watching that. Yeah. But the rest of the time, we're forever trying to dry it out.
But you see, you straight away start using your edit language. I overheard you briefing an edit before we chatted here on the phone.
Yeah.
And you were saying to them, no, drop in a little tiny bit of this, just a little reference to that. Your viewer will thank you for that. They'll really, and you actually you positioned all of it from the viewer, and I would posit that that's how you do it. That you're not actually, you edit almost not on transmit, but on receive, and you're just shaping what's coming into you.
Yes,
because
and that I don't know until it starts to work. I don't know that. There's certain things I do want to do, and I think I took them off films, such as we always had a thing of, all right, this is quite nerdy, but a lot of TV shows as they're telling, and I was always fastidious that you'd say the words in voiceover and then the thing happens. You don't say it as you're showing the pictures, and a lot of TV likes to do that because a lot of editors like to smooth things together, like that kind of coagulates. And it was like, I thought, no, because once we do that, what you lose is the chance to misdirect. So which went well. You know, one of our sort of Top Gear bingo catchphrases was which went well, because you can then say which went well in voiceover and cut to everything going catastrophically wrong. And I just knew that then that was going to be funnier. Whereas instead of going, and then we all started sinking, and you're showing shots of sinking.
So just in terms of cadence and pace and the subtlety and finessing of what you do in the edit, apart from eat pizza, you would say, rather than sinking, me or James standing on a boat, oh no, I'm sinking, it would be, oh no, I'm sinking, cut to seeing the sinking happen. And just that little change gives you the room to put other things in and to misdirect.
Yeah, and then your voiceover would go, meanwhile on Richard's boat, things were going brilliantly. Oh no, I'm sinking.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people go, on Richard's boat, things were now going terribly wrong. Or Richard was in trouble, cut to, oh no, I'm sinking.
Just in terms of frontline experience of the different way in which you work, because that does explain why when we were on the specials, you didn't always come on, but then then you did always come.
Well, that was all we had to do.
Then you started to realize, I think I need to be there.
I'll not be there.
But I remember...
I was a lot quicker afterwards because I knew what you'd done.
Well, exactly, because also those scenes when... Remember, we'd always turn up in a town or a village or wherever, and we'd have to... I hated doing these shopping scenes. We would have to go and buy shopping.
I loved them.
Because it was, you'll have seen it on the show when we all went shopping and we all go off and we buy some funny gifts or stuff that we need or whatever. And I just used to despair because I don't particularly like showing off in public and making a fuss. I'd like to just do it. But we'd be off traditionally for hours, half a day doing this, looking for funny things.
Generally, it'd still be there now.
Yeah.
If we hadn't asked to put the show on it.
Wilman was gracious. Wilman was gracious. Oh no, I'm carrying a ladder. What can go wrong?
There's paint pots on the end of it.
James, get on the end of this large pane of glass and cross the road.
No, wait till the lights go green, then cross.
The joy was, when you were there, you'd edit it, and you were gracious enough to say, Hammo, come with me, I'll do your bit. So you'd direct my bit. And it was brilliant, apart from one thing, because you knew exactly what you wanted as a little bit of glue. And you'd literally say, right, point to that in the window and go, are we done? Are we finished? Okay, right, bar. The only thing is you were often standing next to him when you said action. The number of times you did that, right? Just point the window at the thing and go, Wilman, you're still in shot.
Still in shot. Oh, yes.
But that was...
my TV grammar was...
not brilliant. But that's because you knew what you wanted in terms of those little granular bits of glue to just hold it together. That's all you needed, and anything else would be a waste of time.
Remember that race across Japan against the bullet train?
Yes.
And we were at like Tokyo Station or something, and then all the signs are in Japanese.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Rich, can you look at those signs and look thick? Right. So you're like, I was just going, So it's like you look at something that goes thick, and then it all translates into English as we're looking at it. I'm like,
oh, because it's all digital. Yeah. That doesn't work. Gag loss. But that must have been...
wait till it's Japanese, then go,
Did you ever get power crazy with that? Did you ever feel like you could get power crazy? Because you had the ability to make us look like whatever you wanted.
No.
You did?
No, I didn't get power crazy because...
Well, you made me look like a thick, fatty, eating short brummie.
Yeah, but I tried to represent what I knew to be the case.
Yeah. Set that up.
No, the only power crazy... Well, Burma with your falling off the horse was me.
That is in there. That is in there.
Yeah.
There's not enough of me in there, obviously, but that is in there. When you, so I oh God, it was the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. We were all three put on horses for reasons.
You were trying to get fuel.
Yeah.
So you're going into town on 3 horses,
Yeah.
and you get on a young stallion.
I was on a boy
with
horse.
this out.
James was on a girl horse, and my boy horse decided to mount
Yeah.
James's horse. Basically, I could see the back of James's head, and sex was about to happen.
Yeah, it was like the in-betweeners horse, wasn't it? It was Jay. And then he's thrown off it. And the medic's going, that is a broken arm because he's fallen on his arm. So we go to hospital, myself, the fixer, Richard, he's getting x-rayed, and I'm thinking, if he's got a broken arm, this chute grinds to a halt and, the whole thing collapses. So he's sitting there like, big pain. And I was like, I'm just going to go and have a chat with the doctor. And I went outside to the doctor, and with the fixer I went, is there any chance when you get the x-rays back, if it's only a sort of small fracture, could you just tell him it's bruised?
And I had a fun...
And then he comes out, and the doctor's so baffled, going, where's this going? And the fixer didn't know our dynamic. And you went, what's going on? And the fixer said to Richard, he's just saying to, Andy just wants me to say to the doctor that if your arm's broken, to tell you it's a bruise. And I'm like, thanks, pal.
Thanks. Yeah, you bloke.
Thanks, mate.
That is in there. And it's really hard to explain those trips, just to wax lyrical about them for a while, because they were an experience unlike any other. I think we did appreciate. We were lucky to have and would never get to have that experience again. TV doesn't have the budget to have close on 100 people by the end of it, who all know each other really well and have been through deserts, glaciers.
To start with, then 100. And you never see a country like that. You never see it any other way like that. You can't go on holiday and see it like that.
No. And moments like in the Shan State, when the village, the 3 warring factions had come together, for the first time ever, we were the first Western film crew in there for 60 years.
For donkey's years, and they got a peace between a peace deal had been signed.
Yeah, and so in the village they were singing songs, and they put out a rush mat so everybody got to sing a song, and they turned to us and asked us to, and we 3 walked across the rush matting and agreed the only song we all knew the words to, apart from Happy Birthday, was Bobby Brown, Frank Zappa. It's really not fun.
It's...
Are you seeing the edit that all the crew did when we started singing it? They did think, no, not that. It's disgusting. But standing waiting to do that, I remember turning to James and Jeremy and saying, because I was always the slightly more scared one. Are we really going to do this?
We're really going to do this.
Yep.
The lyrics to that
are disgusting.
But did you have a favourite special? I know you always wanted to get home. But
I did, didn't I? I always did. Why did I always want to get home? I never wanted to travel. I'm a homebird.
I know.
I am a homebird.
Bloody Brummie.
I really, I think like everybody, like all of us, loved Botswana the first time, which is why, and we should talk about the closing of it. And I'm not proud of much that I've been involved in. I'm very proud of this.
You should be proud of that.
I think we all should be. And I think proud of the way we ended it, because I think the decision... And I remember us talking about it a number of times, way before it happened, that we couldn't really be responsible for the way it took off, because that was just the result of what happens if you put us together at that time. The world had a desire to see 3 misshapen blokes doing stupid stuff.
We got to know what lightning in a bottle meant.
It just worked.
Yeah.
But the landing we could do. You do use that reference in there. The landing we could choose at a time, in a place and in a manner of our choosing. And I think it was nailed. And again, don't like giving credit, but the edit is so gentle. And you insisted, you said, you don't want fireworks. We're all got it.
I take issue there, because you guys wanted that. You wanted to... Because I was with my producer.
It's a thank you.
I'm always like, oh, no, we should get the dynamite
No, but I think you understand. We have played that gag on films, I know, and you do like, and that is true. You like the big
dynamite,
But I don't think you fought on that one. I think the idea that let's make it a genuine...
Let's say goodbye.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's close the circle.
Yeah.
And you 3 were epic, and you brought your A game to that last film. I remember...
Well, we haven't got the hang of it after 23 years.
No, but you went up a notch. You went up a notch. It was almost like you were like, oh, we don't have to be together anymore, so I'm going to be in a good mood now. I'm going to be pleasant to the other two.
Yeah, I mean, on that, they weren't easy to make.
The way you
thank
owned
God
it,
they
oh
weren't
my
easy
God,
to make.
you don't know how good you three were because you were one of the three. You have to be slightly outside you three to know how good you were. And I remember when that bit on the railway lines when you went, do we all have to go into the same old people's home? The crew were dying, laughing, because there's two things going on. The speed of your wit, which was always the fastest, and then you owning your own demise, the three of you, in a way that no other show could. So the fans are like, this is a sad show I'm watching because I'm never going to see him again. But then you come out with a line like, do we have to go to the same old people's home? And Jeremy going, James is going to delete our numbers. It's like you three make it okay to laugh at this incredibly sad thing.
Well, thank God
and
one
you
of
were
us.
Brilliant at it, you three.
Thank God one of the four of us put some thought into this bloody thing. How many?
No, you were fantastic at it.
How many terabytes of data has it generated? How much? I mean, it is like.
I mean, the shoots.
mountains.
Well, the rushes were like 1,000 to 1 by the end, but it just means that for every 1,000 hours you do 999 of shit.
Go in the bin.
But,
yeah. So really, anybody could have made this show because literally you could have put 3 monkeys with monkeys running the cameras.
Do you think? I mean, we know Jeremy gets on well with Caleb and the farm.
Yeah.
And that's kind of feels natural. But again, it is natural because they work together. But can you see you three being replicated in a relationship like you were?
Well, you can't replicate a relationship, but you can have a relationship. And
You can.
So I don't think you wouldn't. I mean, in personal relationships, you wouldn't think, oh, they're getting on really well, those two. I want a relationship like that one. That wouldn't work.
That's true. That's probably a question I just asked there.
But I think there will be other. I mean, again, but it needs that finessing going on, like the rule of 3. All of those things you invented as you were editing us, staring at us for thousands of hours to piece the show together. It has to have that
discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be literally. You've squeezed the paint out of the tubes. When you've come back with the rushes, you've squeezed the paint out of the tubes and they're on a palette, then they've got to go into the edit and be made into an image.
But I was lucky that I think especially you and Jeremy, James sometimes would kick off, but you agreed about discipline. I think you and Jeremy are TV animals to a bigger degree than James is. And James would go, I said something funny, where is it? Why is it not there?
Anybody on when I get it on the show we make here, and I tell you, you can see why.
Yeah, you can
You
see
do look
why.
back and you think, over the course of those 2 weeks, I said some really cool stuff, and it doesn't go because it doesn't fit the meter,
And I
the
know
moment.
that this new Grand Tour lot now that are working away, they're like, where's that funny thing I said? And you're like,
You just let it go, trust me.
No, it was funny, you're right.
That's where you have to have trust in the editor, and that's something that only somebody who's made a show a bit like that is essentially is structured beforehand, but we know it'll be the improvised bits that happen that make the show up, but it's only then when it's fitted together, and that's when you have to accept that whole scene's gone. But I was brilliant in it, yes, but it knocked the whole thing off target, and it wasn't going in the right direction. Nothing else would have worked. It would have.
So if we were a band, and I do believe that we were a band and not a TV show, because we owned what we did. We owned the property, as in the ground that we stood on. I'm not saying the property, but like we took full ownership. Like Top Gear, we didn't own the show, but when we moved into the house, we changed the locks. We were like squatters.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we did occupy.
We were like, right, we've got full ownership now. BBC, off, leave us to it. Once we do all that, we have to trust each other. We had to trust each other. And I think we broadly did. And
yeah, it was trusting the edit. And that actually becomes easier because every time a show comes out that you've been in, you've watched the edit and you have thought, was that really funny bit where I said whatever it's not in? Then the show goes out and it goes down a storm and it builds and builds and builds. Then you learn that trust has to come over time. You'd be hard put. New guys on the new Grand Tour, or as and when Top Gear comes back, you'd be hard put to from day one, just as with the crew. The crew, when a new director joins or a new director, photographer, whatever, they haven't yet experienced what it's like to go through one of those trips, to suffer the indignities, discomforts, arguments, and struggles.
All the petty, like,
Yep.
relationships.
All of that.
And
And then
kind
to
of-
see what you do with the rushes, and until they've been through that once or twice. Do you remember when Kit Lynch Thomas started as director?
Lynch Robinson.
Robinson, do you know what?
Jesus Christ, so not just Jeremy, you can't remember the name of
Oh, yeah,
the
that
director.
bloke who was the director. With the posh name.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's Fothering.
Posh lad. Do you remember it was Bridge Over the River Cock?
Yeah.
And I can't remember if you write about it in your book that you've recently written and published under the name Motoring.
Well, I do write about what went wrong.
But do you write about what Kit did? I can't remember.
Was it a shirt?
No, it was the jump falling in the water.
Yeah.
When he made him do it twice.
Made Jeremy do it twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
To show the crew.
There was a lot of breath takes there. Weren't
That
there?
was a real, right lads,
Yeah.
I'm your new leader, and just to prove that you will follow me anywhere, I'm going to make him do it twice. And he did not want to do it once, because it was bloody scary.
It was horrible. And there was
big bridge
like
to fall.
monsters in the river and
It was
stuff.
awful.
Yeah. So getting Jeremy to do it twice.
Getting Jeremy to do it once.
Oh,
when
your
he
shirt strobing as well. Change your shirt. Like,
had a set on it.
and we're like going, ooh, he's just having a swipe at his ankles there.
But with all of that, when we got to that point, and that point of familiarity with one another, and I mean, the way, with us three on our side of camera, the first moment on any special, when we'd been to endless meetings, and yes, there's banter and we have a laugh, but we are talking about what we're going to do, and you've finally shaped, right, you're off. Day one, when Ben would shout action, it was honestly as though we'd all been out there all the time and we just met up. You'd meet the version of us that was waiting there. It was the most amazing feeling. And then you'd encounter something, and we all three did it. I'm sure you saw it in the rushes. Something would happen and you would think, that's a Jeremy thing. And it's just let him lead on it. Or that's a James thing. Or if I say this, I know he will find that funny and pick up on it and run with it.
It's true, actually. I mean, in a more, I think, yes, I'm probably going a more nerdy way, but if there was a conversation to be had, a three-way, you were the quickest and you were like the conductor of it. So I mean, think of a good example of that. Well, you all had your roles, like, what do we do when we get to that river going from Mauritania to Senegal? You know, how are we going to get across? There is no bridge. So you get Jeremy and James going, there's no bridge, like, you know, like, oh, that's water. And you could just see your cogs turning, going, right, now I need to move this conversation forward into what are we going to do, sort of thing. And it was like your brain was like just bloody supercomputer doing it. We all used to talk about it behind the camera, that you were like, I'm the quickest. And because you used to like unnerve me when we were in the, I bought this, we meet up with the cars. And you could see Jeremy walking around going, like he's working his points that he's going to hit. James probably similar. And you're on your phone vaping. And I'm thinking, you lazy, you're not going to put any effort into this. And then I'm like, we're doing it in like 5 minutes. And you're like, yeah. And then you get out and go, bang. I sound like Rolly Birkin then, bang, bang. And you get out and do it.
That's only because I started in radio. You've got to remember three things and deliver them. Question. As we are plugging your book, which is available for Christmas from like shops and shit.
Yeah, but it'll be joining this lot in the bin.
No, Christmas is a good time for buying books.
Is it?
It is. It really is.
Oh, mate, is this the Viz annual? Oh.
No, it's not. We were in the Viz annual. Do you remember? Several times.
We were in the Viz annual. Do you remember those T-shirts we had made?
Yep. When
did this Top Gear studio become a moron storage
facility? Stop being about cars and become... right, two things, and I just... Because we should, these are headline grabbers, okay?
Dragster?
Yeah, that ended well. These are headline grabbers.
I'd love to drive one of those properly.
I'm doing you a favour pushing your book here, because this little film, if you've stayed with us this long, I wouldn't have done, but if you have.
This is going to be the bestseller.
Headline grabbers, whilst we talk about Andy Wilman's Christmas book. It isn't a Christmas book, but it's a book at Christmas. This will get loads of people watching. Is Top Gear going to come back?
Okay. I'm going to ask you that first. Mm-hmm. We can both answer, but what do you think?
I think yes. And I think it should, and I think it's the best time for it. I think it's needed. I think as consumers we need to make informed decisions in a world largely driven and steered by politics. We actually have important things to talk about. I think, but it would be a completely different show.
Important car stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I think it should be a Thursday night again, and I think they should put a panel, a really good and diverse, not to tick boxes, but for genuinely diverse opinions on the whole transport thing now, and just go a completely different direction. Make it a magazine show about cars and things automotive. What do you think, Andy Wilman?
I get your logic. I don't think it will come back because of that other point, that point I made earlier about we moved in and changed the locks. We had full ownership, and like when your crash came along, you remember the mood of the nation. He lives. He's coming back.
I don't remember anything.
All right. Well, it was. Trust me, it was.
I never saw the newspapers.
No, it was because it was like a movie. You know, you'd survived a 288 mile an hour thing, and it was like, when does he come back? He returns.
It was 310 when it went over. No, it was 310 before it went over.
Yes, that's exactly, yeah. But I think Mail Online is 288, and they're never wrong. And now, when you saw poor Freddie's crash, it knocks the stuffing out of everybody. Rightly so, because his crash was like lingering, debilitating thing. Yours was massive and injured you badly. But like I say, it was kind of cinematic. It was Titanic, or what happens. And it knocks the stuffing out of them. And there's no will inside the BBC to keep that show going. Nobody cares about it like we did.
So what you're saying is...
And if it doesn't have a parent, a surrogate parent, somebody championing it, it'll never come back.
So we broke our favourite TV show. It's a bit like a bunch of kids who really love Christmas, having such a good Christmas that Christmas ends, and Christmas never happens again for the whole world. Christmas is so we've ruined our favourite. That's a headline. There you go. Now buy his book for Christmas.
It's don't you think that about
I see what you mean.
We were in it.
Yes, I think we did. We turned into something else entirely, and I think the name is either tarnished or burnished, depending upon your viewpoint.
And Top Gear especially, because would you not agree that like Grand Tour was a professional operation, as in we made good stuff?
Yes.
But Top Gear was that thing that grew, and we were like going, Jesus, we've just done this.
What have we made? Yeah.
We've just realised that cars that break down make better telly than shiny new ones. And we discover it there and then.
Oh, the show evolved on screen.
Yeah.
And we didn't hide it. We weren't in a room going, oh, if we try this, it might work. Let's try it. We'll just try it on camera.
No.
Ho, ho, ho. Christmas is coming, and this is my whiskey, Iron Ridge. This is my gin, Ratio. Christmas. Presents in that, innit? What I do? God. Okay, the other one I get asked, and I want to ask, do you think we ever will work together again? All of us.
Why not?
Because I'm asked all the time.
Why not? I think it would be as natural as anything if it happened. It would absolutely be as natural as anything.
It would be the easiest
thing. The easiest thing in the world.
Because it was back to that point I was saying about three of us on location. You know what the others are going to say or how they're going to react. And we also know how that's going to come back from you, because really there's four of us on camera at any given time, because we know we are speaking through you. And the number of times I've thought, if I give Wilman a little treat here, I will give even down to as fine as a dumb look through a car window. And I think, I know he'll find that. And I know he'll, cheers, mate, drop it. That's really useful.
Oh, you look proper thick there.
Yeah, is it? I love that.
Yeah, oh, look, you're looking at the tower.
But that, again,
tower, you don't know what it is.
That's when all four of us, even when we're recording it, are together, even though we're on the other side of the camera, because we will giggle because we know we're giving you a treat. Yeah, or making
Wilman. That's for Wilman's little box.
Yeah.
But I think you'd slot in amazingly easily, and you're all so aware of each other that you would acknowledge that you're back together again, that the time has moved on, that in the same way you knew how to say goodbye, you'd know how to say hello again. You would. Because you guys were on like, a mind meld. Did you not feel that? Did you not feel that you were on a mind meld with those two?
It was really amazing that you would know but again, with that fourth mind with us. Because even if we're driving across a desert, right down to where the cars are and what the radio chatter is, or what you're doing in your own car, you can almost picture what will be coming through the edit, through that fourth personality, what it'll end up as. Yeah.
So it's tinier things like we all had a keen sense of self-deprecation. Yeah. Vital. But then again, like back to my point, I think a lot of blokes do. Self-deprecation is like a main weapon in your comedy armoury. Because you had other smaller things.
Yeah, you've got it. Yeah, we really did. Even in terms of how we would work together or how we would come up with an idea together. And it's just, it could have been one tiny difference. If you'd been given a different gift at Christmas when you were 6, or had a different experience the first time you had your hair cut, and if something as minute as that had happened to any of the 4 of us, that show probably wouldn't have been what it was. It had to be those 4 lives and all the lives around them.
And it kind of came out, didn't it, in like how you could make entertaining chat about... Do you remember Three Wise Men? And that campfire chat where you start talking about what you all did in the Christmas pantos when you were kids.
Oh, yeah.
And you said you were a mouse. And Jeremy was like, I was the horse. Yeah. Or the front of the horse. And he went... And I took the horse's costume off so that everyone could see it was me. And it was like, that's Jeremy. And you were like, of course you did.
You will.
And he knew that as soon as he said that, they were setting it up.
Well, that's what I meant about the setups. But that extended right down to if something happened, you would know, oh, that's for me, I'm all over that. And the lads will be backing me up. It's like watching rugby. It's like, that is my ball and I know they'll come slamming in and support me. Or, that's not for me.
I know, I'm setting this
up. I'm going to step back off that. I'm going to let him run with it and I'll...
Except when you stole... When you were writing the scripts on a Tuesday, and somebody said a joke and it didn't sort of... It sort of fell on the floor and it was a pretty good one. Yeah. And it was quite funny, all 3 of you looking at it on the floor going, that one just got bypassed. Who's going to have that? I'll just lean forward and take that one.
But there's also the way in which we do them. I mean, there was no doubting. If a funny line came up, nicking lines was a favourite thing.
Shocking.
But...
Get it in first.
But you had to... It's a bit like when we chose cars for specials, there was always an obvious reason why it would suit one of us. And a line would come up, and quite often the fact of the matter is, let Jeremy have it because he'll make a better job of delivering it, and just come up with another one roughly in the moment.
Roughly in the moment.
Because he'll deliver a preset line better. But again, that's knowing how we work.
I mean, I think you got there was a triangle, not a flat line.
Oh, yeah.
You had to have it. We all knew we had to have a Jeremy. Yeah. You got to have an arrow tip.
Yeah.
Or else the whole thing falls to shit. It's just literally some kids playing at a party.
Well, mate, I'm going to wrap it up with a monumental plug. I'm going to wrap it up by saying...
this book is not out this
It's
Christmas.
not even in shops.
And nor is this book out this Christmas.
No, nor that one.
Nor that one.
Nor this one.
Nor that one.
No.
This one's discontinued.
None of these books are out, but this one for Christmas.
Yeah, but that one is, to complete your set.
So go and buy the book to complete the set of these are in the bin. And...
it's been so good having a natter again.
I do want it. Wouldn't
I
it be
feel
amazing?
so looked after. 3-hour train journey.
Himself.
Yeah.
And it would be amazing. I only ask that question just because I get asked it all the time. And my answer is always exactly what yours was. Wouldn't it be incredible if ever we did? And one day maybe we shall. Who knows?
We will when it absolutely feels right. We have no pressure to.
No.
Ending felt right, didn't it? When I was looking at all your bits in the car when you're driving towards Kubu Island at the end, and you're like, oh God, there it is, was actually like...
Yeah, that what really was. Oh no, that's the
nervous.
axe.
It was like nervous, like I don't want to go there.
No, that's the axe, I don't want to...
Yeah, I do not want to walk up the steps. Yeah, it absolutely felt like that. I remember in the edit, we all went, ooh, we're keeping that. And we don't have to listen to it because he's just gone, oh, there it is. But
so forget about it. Right, well, it's an absolute joy. Right. I hope you get a nice train journey.
So this is on ITV, right?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Pleasure
Saturday
to see
night.
What's wrong with your hand? You need to learn to use the other one.
Arthritis, I think, is coming.
Change hands.
63.
Change hands. It'll feel like it's somebody else.
Jesus Christ.
You'd have put that in the edit.
Couldn't have thought of that.
That would have gone in.
Me.
Over and out. It's just going to go on now.
Right, okay. I miss that kind of level of wit.
We actually finished on a joke. That can go in the bin.